Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Thank you for being here with me tonight. We're going to break down some stuff going on with the New York Knicks. Of course, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on with the Knicks, but there's enough that we got some things to talk about, especially the fact that Leon Rose seems to be remaking the front office, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you what, he's doing so quietly and patiently, and I'm impressed by that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get over to the guys we got here in the chat. I got Nate in the chat. I got Kevin in the chat. I'm going to get over here and talk to these guys and find out what they think about Leon Rose's moves. And I want to know what you think about Leon Rose's moves. All right? So let's get over here and I'm going to talk to these guys and we're going to go ahead and get this thing on the move, ladies and gentlemen. You see, there you go. You see Nate. You see Kevin. You know, they're having a conversation right now. So I'll get them unmuted in a second as soon as they realize that we're ready to go live. But let's look. In the last couple of days, Leon Rose has made some moves for the New York Knicks. He's made a couple of moves for the Knicks. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm impressed by what I've seen from Leon Rose so far. Of course, we know he hired Brock Aller, right? A former Cavaliers executive. Right? He hired Brock Aller as the chief strategist. Okay, Brock Aller is a guy who's had a lot of experience in the NBA. Obviously, he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers during those championship runs with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and those guys. So he's got some experience. He's got some experience running a front office or being part of running a front office. Something that Leon Rose does not have. Brock Aller does. Brock Aller is also a capologist, right? Considered to be one of the best capologists in the NBA. The Knicks had a capologist, but hopefully they brought in a better one. But what I can see with Leon Rose, he's bringing in guys that he's comfortable with. Guys that, well, obviously everyone's going to bring in guys that they're comfortable with. But guys that he's worked with in the past that he felt did a good job negotiating, did a good job drafting, did a good job managing the cap. He's seen it from an agent's perspective, right? And I think that's a good perspective to see it from. Seeing the opposite, you know, the side of the basketball team, the basketball front office. So he brought in Brock Aller. And then yesterday, it was announced that he hired Walt Perrin. Walt Perrin, 19 years with the Utah Jazz. Responsible for drafting 5 NBA All-Stars with the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell being the latest. You got Rudy Gobert. Right? You got, who else you got there? You got Darren Williams. You got Paul Millsap. You got Gordon Hayward. And all these guys, they weren't top draft picks when he drafted them, right? Donovan Mitchell, he was 13. Rudy Gobert was 27. Paul Millsap was 47th. Okay, 47th. That's second round, ladies and gentlemen. Come on back over here for a minute. All right, that's second round for Paul Millsap. Then you got Darren Williams. He was a 3rd pick. Right? Gordon Hayward was a 9th pick. So you got 2 guys in the top 10, 1 guy in the top 5. Seems like he understands the draft and is a good judge of talent. At least from the history that we have of him. He also worked with Scott Perry during the Detroit years in the late 90s, early 2000s. They worked together, so they're familiar with one another. Now, they also hired Zanin today, or they're expected to hire Zanin today. Frank Zanin. Frank Zanin, he spent the last 4 years, the last 4 seasons with the Oklahoma City Thunder, right, as a scout for the Thunder. You know how how OKC scouts. Now, was he a scout way back a long time ago when they got Kevin Durant, James Harden, those guys? No. All right, but he's coming from a strong organization, an organization that has the ability, even throughout, losing Kevin Durant and losing James Harden and losing Russell Westbrook, was on a path to make the NBA playoffs this season. So he's plucked some guys off of teams that have had success in the NBA. Guys that it seems he knows how they work, understands how they work, likes the way that he dealt with them on the opposite side of the ball. So he's reshaping the front office. He's doing it patiently, didn't rush into anything. So all of a sudden we hear boop, 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 he made a hire. Patiently, and it seems to me strategically, which gives me a lot of confidence in him. Look, we can't get crazy and get too happy because nothing's happened yet on the basketball court. But I kind of like what I see so far. Liking what I'm seeing so far. I don't know about you, but I do. I feel confident right now at what he's doing. So I'm going to bring these guys back over here. Want to get their perspective. All right, I'm going to start with you, Nate. Coming to you. Nate, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
tell me. Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me what you think about what you're seeing right now from Leon Rose and the way that he's constructing this front office.
It's like what I told you before the show started. I mean, when you got a guy who's never been in the position that Leon Rose is in right now, you got to surround yourself with people that know the NBA circle, that have either exceeded their position or are good at what they do. And I look at the people he's brought in. He brought in a guy from the Jazz, player personnel, a winning organization, a pretty good, well-run organization. If you want to read the back channel, I mean, I think that Donovan Mitchell's talk could be in play again because he was a player personnel for the Jazz. So, there could be some chatter there. You bring in the guy from the Thunder who's under Presti. I mean, if anybody knows anything about Presti knows talent. And he's got good scouts. And so you pluck one of the scouts from the Thunder, hey man, I'm cool with that, dude. I mean, the Thunder always find good talent later on. So I mean, you bring the guy in from the Cavs that's a capologist, another young guy. Hey man, I mean, he's just surrounding himself with people that understand the game and know the game because he was an agent, man. I don't care what anybody says. An agent and a president are not the same thing, And so there's different perspectives of how you think about it too. And so the fact that he's bringing in people that have experience and understand what's going on, it's going to help him succeed better, in my opinion, because he's going to have people to talk to and listen and get opinions about certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, without a doubt. Everyone that he's brought in has had, good history in the NBA.
Yeah.
Long histories in the NBA when you talk about Walt Perrin.
Right.
So that's and listen, Leon Rose has been in the NBA for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He just hasn't been a president of basketball operations.
Yeah, which is a whole huge difference of position. I mean, agent to president, that's
right.
Like apples and oranges completely.
Right. No, without a doubt, definitely. Kevin, I'm coming to you, Kev. I want to know what you think about what's going on.
Hey, Sim, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Hey, listen, if you're a Knicks fan, you have to be optimistic and somewhat pleased with what Leon Rose is doing with us hiring two guys that have come from organizations that run their organizations thoroughly. So you look at this guy, Walt Perrin, he's responsible. I think you probably already ran off the names, but responsible for Donovan Mitchell, Gordon Hayward, Rudy Gobert, Paul Millsap. These are four guys that are not slouches, that are not bums. These guys are, three of them are I think all four of them are all-star players, correct?
Well, he drafted 5 all-stars. Donovan,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Gordon Hayward, Darren Williams, Paul Millsap. All 5 of those guys
Yeah, I
were
forgot Darren
all-stars.
Williams. Okay, all right. So already, you know, the guy that you're getting knows his college his college players of who will fit best for the organization when he was in Utah. Now he's bringing that over here to New York, and this Frank Zanin, he's responsible for. He's going to be assistant GM for for the pros that are coming in. So that's another check mark for Leon Rose. Bottom line, we talk about stability. These guys, I think, are going to be real stable towards getting our team to where we want to be, competitive, and to being somewhat successful. Now, of course, we want us to see us win the chip. It's going to take time, but we can't steer away from the course, from the vision. And it looks like Leon Rose is putting somewhat of a vision of putting people in important roles to help us be successful. So with just, he kept Perry for a year. Who knows if he'll keep him for a couple more years, but he kept Perry and brung in 2 more guys, brung in the capologists. Leon Rose, you cannot be upset with what he's done so far. The most important thing that that's going to define him define him a lot, is getting the head coach. And since we're still in this pandemic, we really can't. It put a strain on him hiring the next coach.
Right. There's not much you can do, because you don't know if the season. You can't do anything until you know the season is done. Right. So if the season is not done, then you still got to let Mike Miller continue to coach out the season. No sense in hiring a new coach until the season is over with, and then you can say, okay, let me go get a new coach. You know what I mean?
Right. So you can have all the speculation that you want of Thibodeau, whoever. You can have all that speculation. Once you hear the words, the season is done, then that's when he'll hire his new coach. He probably knows who he wants to do. He probably might want to give Miller another year to see how he goes. And again, we've talked about this before. I am not objective to that. Let him do it. So we just got to see.
Yeah, that's it. We just got to see. Just got to see. Andrew, I'm coming to you, man. Let me get you unmuted over here. Andrew, what's going on?
What's up, Sim? Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you, bro. Tell me, with what you've seen from Leon Rose so far, does it increase your confidence in him? And based on the people that he's hired, and I've seen a good question in the YouTube chat. We are live on YouTube and Sportscaster. And by the way, in about 10, 15 minutes, I'll be off of YouTube altogether, and I'll be at Sportscaster. So make sure that you join us over on Sportscaster. The link is in the description, and I just put the link in the YouTube chat. All right? So there it is. Putting it in the YouTube chat. Just spammed my own YouTube chat. But anyway, Andrew, does this give you more confidence in Leon Rose? And like I seen someone ask in the YouTube chat, Scott Perry was his contract was picked up for a year, for the next year, right? Because there was a contract. Both sides, the team and Scott Perry, had an option. They both decided to pick up the option for the next year. Looking at the guys that he's hired, Leon Rose, both of them are considered assistant general managers under Scott Perry. Do you think, the writing is kind of on the wall for Scott Perry? He'll be here for the year, then he's done, and then, one of those guys will be promoted? Or, is it just, hey, we're adding talent to this front office, and, we're going to make this work. What do you think? And big shout out to my man Kareem. Thank you for becoming a 70s NBA champion member. Big shout out to you, my brother. Thank you. Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry about that.
Nah, it's cool, brother. Thanks for having me. When I think about them adding all these people, do I think Scott Perry time is numbered? Most certainly, I feel so, because why would they be bringing all these people in, trying to, add new people to the team if, I think maybe they're going to just bring some new people in and see what they have initially. And if they have the things they feel that is capable of helping the organization move forward in terms of they assess the situation and how the guys run, the front office, if they like the direction these guys are going, get rid of Scott Perry. I think about the people they brought in. I mean, it's cool. We still can't, jump the gun and automatically assume like these people just gonna come and hit a home run right out the park. I mean, it's cool. I can't really complain about the moves they made.
Right. Now, the only thing that I'll ask, when they're coming in, it's not like, I mean, they're possibly replacing people like Gerald Mackins. He was an assistant general manager in charge of, and also part of the college scouting team. His contract expires in August. You would think that with the hire of Walt Perrin, Gerald Mackins is now gone. Right? And then I'm pretty sure there's some other people in the organization whose contract expires in August. And, this new guy, Frank Zanin, is coming in to replace them. So it could be that these guys are replacing them guys and Scott Perry sticks around still.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're gonna probably move him into the different department. You never know, because maybe they just, the same thing they did with Steve Mills. Maybe they'll do something like that. I'm not quite sure, but we have to see. Time will tell. But the moves right now, I can't. I mean, it's still a little too early.
Mm-hmm.
The season's not away, and so we start to see. But hopefully, we get good things out of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, the season is definitely early. I mean, not the season. I'm sorry. The season is late. I mean, it's early with the moves that he's making, but I just like the way he's gone about it. That's the one thing that's impressed me. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's going on, Sim? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, my brother. How you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing good. Listen, before I continue, you're going to be surprised. Guess who I spoke to, I think, a day or two ago?
Guess who? Who's that?
Rasheed Wallace.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. He was like, yo, he wanted to be, what's crazy? He wanted to be a Knick when he got drafted. He wanted the Knicks to draft him, but he never had the chance to play for them until the last of his career. But, however, that's good that we had him for a while. You understand? And now, but to continue with this conversation, here's what I want to talk about, right? First off, let me ask you, hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here. And let me just say this. Rasheed Wallace would have fit in perfectly with the Knicks. When he was drafted, at that time, he would have fit in perfectly with the Knicks.
I mean, here's the thing, right? People say, there's a lot of fans who was talking to him said, listen, I think if you would have stayed with the Knicks at that time when they won 54 games, I think you would have gave Roy Hibbert. You would have possibly beat the Pacers because you would have wore Roy Hibbert out. You understand? Because if you remember that series, Tyson Chandler was playing like a soft donut. You understand? And then Melo didn't have help. But however, I was glad to see, Melo was able to push the team to the second round. But I wish they would have did better. But it is what it is. But here's what I want to talk about. Right?
All right.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
First off, Sim, listen, let me ask you a question. Where's the team commitment here? Where's the structure here? How many coaches you gonna keep going through and it's still the same problem? This is what, like I always say, to me, I wanna build the team, man. You understand? Build the team. Be patient. I don't care what the fans say. Build the team. Draft the right players. Get the right coaching staff in here. You understand? And on top of that, too, if you keep going for the quick fix, it's not going to work. We saw that with Amari. We saw that with Melo. It didn't work. You got to build a team, man. You understand? Build a team. I want to build a team. Build around RJ. right coaching staff in here. Indeed, in fact, I think you should give Mike Miller another shot, to be fair. And keep Kevin Knox. Don't give up on him yet. I think the problem is we don't have the right coaching staff. That's probably why. And number 3, what's your opinion about what I said? Because if you think about this, right, how many times we gonna keep going through this? Last year, I think it was last year summer, with KD and Kyrie was free agent. We didn't get him. Then this year Anthony Davis is going to be free agent. We're not getting him. I know that. And then what years Giannis is going to be out? What year?
2021, summer of 21.
So 21, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2021. Giannis is going to be out. You don't get him. Then the next superstar free agent come out. You don't get him. Then the next superstar free agent come out. You don't get him. Do you want to continue this route? No. You understand? If you want to stay like this, guess what? You're not going to grow like this. You got to build a team, man. You understand? Build a team. Like I said, build a team, build a team. Get the right coaching staff in here, build the organization properly, and draft the right players. Put good young veterans around them. If you want, you can hire somebody like Rashid or Patrick Ewing to come mentor, what's his name, Mitchell Robinson, the big man, or hire somebody like Jason Kidd to mentor, mentor R.J. Barrett. And for Melo, I think Melo should just get a ring, at least one. Your last stage of your career, you come back, you play one season in New York, and you retire. So what's your opinion on that? And Sim, stay up, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. And I think my man who just called in, I think that Leon Rose is trying to add some pieces into the front office so that they can build the right way. He hired someone who is an expert at doing the cap. He hired someone in Perrin who's good at who has a history of being successful in the NBA draft. So far, with the New York Knicks, Scott Perry's done well with the NBA draft, right? He hired another scout from OKC who, comes from a strong organization. And Perrin also comes from a strong organization with the Utah Jazz. So these are some guys who have some experience running a good organization. With Scott Perry so far, and he was with the Pistons back in, way back when they won championships. But after that, Orlando, Sacramento, those weren't good organizations. But now there's some guys in there who have run good organizations. The Knicks haven't had that. In the past, however many years, it's been Steve Mills and Scott Perry. Then before that, it was Phil Jackson and Steve Mills. And Phil Jackson, while he was part of a good organization with the Bulls and the Lakers, he was the coach. How many decisions did he make in the front office? Help to make in the front office? Who knows? But it seems like Leon Rose has put people in place from successful organizations, which I think means a lot. I definitely think it means a lot. Let me get to some other guys that's here in the chat. I'm gonna come to Guillermo, see what Guillermo thinks about these moves, and then we're gonna move on to some other things on the agenda. All right, Guillermo, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Trying to build some furniture, man. But other than that, man, I'm feeling good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. All right, so what do you think? What do you think about these? Because we can't see. What do you think about these moves from Leon Rose so far?
I love it, man. These are, I was unsure about Leon Rose at first because I thought that he was going to come in and just be, and I guess maybe the reports had me as well too. I was uneasy about the Dwayne Wade stuff. I was uneasy about the reports that he's looking to just get a disgruntled star and kind of star-load the Knicks. But I have to give him credit. I'm still not saying this is an end-all, be-all. This guy's made it, but these two hires, or at least the Perrin pick and then the Zanin that they're negotiating right now, I think these are excellent hires, man. These are the guys. Like I said, you have the organization built. You have to get the guys who can scout, who can pick out talent. And I mean, for the Jazz, say what you want, but the Jazz have been solid for I don't know how many years, right? Mark told me. I didn't realize it just because I don't pay as much attention to other teams like that, but. Donovan Mitchell, they traded up for him, which meant that they saw something in him and they hit the jackpot. Gobert, Millsap, excellent picks for a team that really can attract free agents like that. So at the very least, even if Leon Rose is not able to so-called work his magic, which I'm not necessarily looking forward to, like, oh, he has to get these guys. At the very least, you have an organization you could build around, right? You're gonna have, we have RJ Barrett here already, but if this guy can supplement the Knicks with good talent like that, the Gorbeers. I mean, we already have Mitch, but getting that talent that other people may not see. And they're building, when you look at the Jazz, they're not necessarily building around star power or let's get the guy who can shoot 50% from three. They're getting guys that you can build a team around. That, hey, we can get into the first round of playoffs, and then maybe get something, acquire somebody else, or get a better small forward for this position. Blah blah. I like it. I love these two picks. The Zanin pick is intriguing just because he's kind of been all over the place. Worked up with the Sixers, and then he went to the Brooklyn Nets. Was only there for like a little bit. Then he's with the Thunder. So I'm really excited to see what he brings, because at least with the Nets, I'm not sure when the D'Angelo trade was. I'm assuming because he's only there till 2016, if I remember. But he's been around some teams that you can say, look, the Thunder, regardless of the whole Westbrook thing, they've been able to acquire really good talent throughout the years. So that's a big plus. The Brooklyn Nets, I'm just not sure about the D'Angelo Russell timing, but whenever they put that team together, if he was there for that, that may have been really good, because I thought that team was a pretty underrated team. Whoever built that team knew what they were doing. But overall, the kid has a lot of talent, and Perrin, obviously, like I just said. So I'm all for it. I'm a trusted. I like these hires for the front office, and I think what they're doing with Scott Perry, I think you asked this to Kevin or Kevin or somebody else, but I think what they're trying to do with Scott Perry is that they might have him as a GM in name, but they're going to basically have a brain trust of guys, right? So you're going to have Scott Perry there to kind of give his acumen, give his knowledge, but he's not going to necessarily make all the executive decisions. He's probably going to have like a big committee, or an amalgamated committee where they all get together and make decisions, GM decisions, play personnel, more front office personnel, which is smart.
Right, and Scott Perry may be in charge of some of the organizational type things, right? Some of those things. But when it comes to making a decision about players and coaches and those type of things, yeah, it'll probably be a brain trust, which is the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Regardless who's at the top, the best way to go about things usually is to have a brain trust, so that you can get difference of opinions, and you don't just get this group think, everyone thinking the same way. You get some yin and yang and things, and hopefully these are all people that'll be able to work well together.
Yeah, and I feel like this. I mean, you have Zanin, who I think, I'm not sure how old he is, but I'm assuming he's probably relatively young.
I think he's a young guy.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said I think he's a young guy. I think he's relatively young.
Right, and I just think that coming together with the Knicks, I want to say there's not a lot of pressure, but you can come and be a little creative in terms of who you pick, how you want to shape the team. And you're basically working from a clean slate. So, a young guy like Zanin, the scouting talent they're going to bring in, I'm excited, man. It's not about us getting disgruntled stars like some reports are saying, like, oh, yeah, Leon Rose is going to go after so-and-so because they don't want to be there anymore. And I thought, I don't know if that was it's the media saying that, but, these front office personnel picks, I'm more excited about this because I'm just excited to see, all right, the Knicks can build a team that can at least sniff the playoffs. And we build from there, because if we start winning soon, the free agents are going to come. Like, it's the thing about is that in New York, we've been so inept for so long. But you tell me all these, wannabe social media influencers of the NBA and all these guys who so-called have art galleries and stuff, and, they're trying to be artistic. They wouldn't love New York to come and play for a winner. I mean, I just think that this stuff is smart long term. So I love these hires, man.
Yeah,
well, I like the direction, and that's what I love them.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I like what I'm seeing so far. So far, so good. We'll see what happens when the coach comes around. Of course, we're not going to be able to see that until the season is officially over. Then we'll understand what he wants to do from the coach's standpoint.
Right.
Yeah. But let me get over here to Mark. If Mark is ready. I'm not sure if Mark is ready. I see Mark having a conversation. Let me see if I can get to Mark real quick. It always can be scary to open it up when Mark's having a conversation. You never know what he's going to say. You know what I'm saying? He may just jump off and say something, but let me get to him now. Hey, Mark, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? You talking to the heavy hitters, man? What's up, man?
What's poppin' with you, brother? Yo. So tell me, man, a couple of questions before we even get going. First, talk to me quickly about Leon Rose. Then I want to talk about LaMelo Ball.
Okay, you see, remember when I came on and I said there's something about Leon Rose that I feel confident about. It's because what he's doing, it's like what you do in a big corporation. You might not be the smartest person, but then you hire a guy that's smarter than you to do the job that you cannot do. And that's what he did. But when the time, I always said this, when the time for him to strike, to get whatever player is out there, I think he's going to have the credibility and the credentials to strike. So as of right now, Leon Rose is the striker. That's what I consider him as. He is the striker. So whatever young player or free agent that's out there in future time, I think he's going to be able to get in a room with them prior to the guys that couldn't get into a room with one of these guys.
Right.
So what he did was what you're supposed to do. Get guys that is better than you and smarter than you at the specific jobs that he went after. He got two guys that scout very well, especially the guy from Utah, because what a lot of people don't understand, he had to trade up to get Donovan Mitchell. So he felt very confident in doing that, to go get Donovan Mitchell, to trade assets to get Donovan Mitchell, because that's what he had to do. So, and there was a rumor of him talking about Donovan Mitchell that draft here. So he was confident in who he drafted. So you want guys like that. You want guys that watch guys, that see guys and feel like, okay, he might not be a lottery pick, a top three, but do I see him becoming something? And that's what he felt about Donovan Mitchell. Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, Rudy Gobert. He liked something about them. I guess he knew that if I could put these guys in a collective talent, because if you look at Utah prior to Donovan Mitchell, there was a collection of just talent that just fit together and that played off each other well, and they got groomed it well. So you're bringing guys from strong organizations, and you're bringing the structure here. And that's what we need. And Leon Rose is known for a non-tolerant guy. People don't talk about that. They said this guy, when it comes to business, he gets to it. It ain't no playing around. So he's showing you what his brain is thinking. That's what he's doing. He's being a tactician right now, and what he's doing. And like I said, he's doing the right thing, and he's just known as a striker. From now on, we call Leon Rose the striker. When it gets hot, I think he's gonna be able to strike. He's gonna be able to strike, and that's how I feel. So, like I said, I'm still in my grave until things get good, but it's looking good for what we're doing. He got guys in, so Scott Perry won't make any final picks, so I'm kind of happy about that. I'm cool with Scott Perry being here 1 year, because I guess it's just, let the guy serve his last year. It won't hurt anybody. But we got a guy that's knowing what he's doing and putting structure to this team. Just go hire my man Tom Thibodeau, and we can call it a great offseason.
Hey, Mark, let me stay here. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna take a couple phone calls because I'm gonna come back to you. We're gonna talk about LaMelo Ball. All right. So stay right there. Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Good evening, this is Sam. I just want to comment on the moves that they're making. I think that Leon Rose is making some good moves. He's just replacing the old staff with people that he's familiar with and people that he can trust. But I think that he's doing a good job. The guys he has a specialist to check the college draft, and he has people for talent in Utah. Perrin, he has a reputation of working hard. He has a reputation of working 350 days out of the year, so he knows talent, and he's going to do a good job. Not going to be like Jackson that sat down and didn't care about the team. I just have one question. Yeah. With the fact that they may start up the league again, and the option players they have to do something on those option players. I think by June something. How does that affect them if the year goes beyond June?
How does that affect who?
Well, the contracts. If they have to waive those players by a certain time, like June, but the season continues beyond that, how does that work?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know, right? Because you got some of those guys like Bobby Portis and Todd Gibson and Elfrid Payton that, they've got to be waived by June 28th. If you don't waive them by June 28th, then you got to then their contract becomes guaranteed for the following year. Now, if the season doesn't restart until June 15th, then those guys will probably be playing beyond that date unless, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some negotiations about contracts and the salary cap and, how to, have some flexibilities within those contracts, right? So that you say, okay, you know what? Yep, those guys had to be waived by June 28th, but since the season was delayed for, 2 months, we're going to give them an extra, we're going to extend that date out to, June or July 28th or something like that. I think that's what would probably happen, because I think it would be wrong to hamstring a team that built those type of flexibilities into the contract. And it would be wrong to say to a player, well, we got to waive you by June 28th. You can't play the rest of the season. So I think there would be something that's built in. The league, the NBA Players Association, and the NBA would most likely say to the teams, you have the power to negotiate or renegotiate certain things in your contracts, in response to COVID-19. Right. I think something like that might happen. I think that's going to happen with the salary cap overall. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, and shout out to the chat.
Appreciate you,
great
man.
Job.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to take a couple more phone calls before I go exclusively to Sportscaster. So make sure you get those calls in right now. Big shout out to Jonathan Hernandez. He said Leon Rose is building a culture from within first, and then it'll go out to the floor. Exactly. I believe in that. I believe exactly what you said is right. That's what he's doing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm heading over exclusively to Sportscaster now. We're going to talk about LaMelo Ball and if they're trying to push LaMelo Ball to the Knicks. We're going to talk about R.J. Barrett and if The Last Dance is really impacting him. And we're going to talk about how the Knicks just might benefit if the salary cap drops due to the coronavirus, how it might benefit, what type of players might just come available if it does. So those are some things you're going to want to hear and talk about. So make sure you join us right now on Sportscaster. And I know you guys don't like it when I do this, but, it's part of the game, bro. It's part of the game. Join me on Sportscaster. The link is in the description right now. All right, and I'm putting the link in the YouTube chat. Please make sure that you click on the link. Join me on Sportscaster so we can finish this conversation. We're going to have some good conversations over there. It's going to be fun. All right, before I get out of here and go over to Sportscaster, let me tell you what's going on for the remainder of the week. All right, tomorrow night, I'll be starting about 10:45 tomorrow night. All right, we're going to talk about some coaching candidates. We're going to talk about some NBA draft picks, all in one package. And then on Thursday, we're just going to have an open mic. Call in, talk about whatever you want. It's just going to be a mailbag session. Talk about whatever you want, anything that has to do with the Knicks, 10:30. Okay? And then on Friday, we're going to jump back into a classic Knicks session on Friday. Do some classic Knicks. We'll see what happens over the weekends. And if there's any other updates that come out during the week, of course, I'm going to hit you with it. All right? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one thing. We'll have an exclusive interview from Bernard King from my man Mo from Knickish. You guys remember we just did that with John Starks. We're going to do the same thing with Bernard King. All right, Mo is a brand new member of the NBK family who's going to be part of the NBK official network here on Sportscaster. So be looking forward to checking out that official network on Sportscaster. It's going to be pretty dope. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, join me over on Sportscaster right now. I'm out of here, and I will catch you on Sportscaster. If I don't catch you on Sportscaster, then I'll catch you the rest of the week. So let's go. We're getting ready to talk about LaMelo Ball, RJ Barrett. Who else we talking about on Sportscaster? We're talking about if the salary cap drop will help the New York Knicks. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on Sportscaster. So see me over on Sportscaster, ladies and gentlemen. The link is in the description of this chat. The link is also in the YouTube chat. So jump on it right now.